Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm your Captain Guide and friend, Dalton Rellinger. Welcome back to Sailwind, where I am constantly being just harassed by never-ending storms. I've slept like 2 times now, trying to get the storm out of the way, and it just refuses to go away. But anyway, yes, welcome back to the not Dow only challenge. Dalton, what are you talking about? This is the Kakam only challenge. By the way, this is not filling up. I was kind of hoping I'd be able to fill up the barrels of water with rainwater, but apparently that mod has either been uninstalled or it stopped working. One of the two. Which I suppose is fine. Just means I have to be a bit more cautious with my water supply. Um, this is being If I wasn't such a neat freak, I wouldn't have a problem with the way things look, but the problem is, I am a neat freak, I have OCD problems, and I require that everything look at least halfway decent. There we go. That'll work just fine. So yeah, I should probably go ahead and restock on... I think my food is relatively... Hello! I forgot about the mail. That was close. I was almost late with that. You know what? Just to be on the safe side, I've got plenty of money, so... And when I say I've got plenty of money, uh... not really, as it turns out. Oh my good lord. Okay, so keep in mind, if I have the money whenever I get done with the Firefish Lagoon, it might be worth coming back to the Emerald Archipelago and picking up some of this green tobacco, because some of this stuff is extremely profitable. There's no point in even looking at Aestrin, because that's going to be, well, it might be the last place that I go to. Happy Bay stands probably the greatest chance of being the last place we visit for this playthrough. Um, yeah, well, I can't really buy any food, so that's a problem. So what I'm going to do instead... Admittedly, I could take more eel with me to Ona and Sina. But tea pays a lot more, but it's also more expensive to purchase. Oh man, if I can go to Firefish Town though. You know what? Yeah. Tea is fine. It's over here. Now, that leaves me with 2,000 things left to my name. Emerald Dragons. You know, one thing I haven't really looked at is, do they sell quadrants here? I don't think they do. Well, crap. Well, it shouldn't be too hard to find the Emerald Archipelago, or not the Emerald Archipelago, the Firefish Lagoon. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and put all this over here. Come on. There we go. And what I will also do is I will go ahead and purchase, if I can. Okay, nothing is going to the Firefish Lagoon. Everything is either going to Gold Rocks. Let's do in 35 days. That's also due in 35 days. I might be able to just... You know what? I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'm going to do it. This might be... This might turn out to be a bit of a mistake, but I will cross that bridge when we come to it. 35 days to explore the Firefish Lagoon and get to Alonk should be way more than enough time. Should be way more than enough. Okay. Truth be told, I'll just go and put this here. I will not put it there. According to the boat, I cannot put it there. Alright, that will work just fine. I'm just going to do one more quick little look around to make sure that I'm not, like, missing any other store that Rawline might have put in without me knowing about it. I really should have bought a quadrant last time I was in Dragon Cliffs. But, well... Alright, let's just get underway. We're wasting time, we're wasting daylight. You know what? I will buy one of the eels. If nothing else, I can use it as food. I can use it in the event I start getting desperate or whatever. There we go. We're completely unmoored. Very good. Oh, yeah, also, by the way, I went back to having the default sails. I think they're a little bit bigger than the default sails, but I went back to having whatever you call these. I can't remember. Junk sails, there we go. Why would I have so much trouble trying to remember junk? It's very simple to remember. I'll just use one to get out of the harbor for now. I think, honestly, we don't need to turn too aggressively. I think we just need to be going in that general sort of direction. Because we are leaving the Emerald Archipelago behind, at long last. We are heading to the Firefish Lagoon, finally. It's actually my favorite place. I really wish you could actually just spawn there. Like, even just if it's another Kakam boat like this that you start off with. Because it's a very fun place to navigate. Alright. I think so long as we keep this kind of heading, we should at least see it in the distance. And you know what? I am actually going to go ahead and turn up the sound. Just so you guys can hear the ocean a bit better. And actually, you know what? I'm messing with the sound on OBS here just for a little bit. That way, like, the sound isn't competing with my voice in the video. Feels good to be back in Sailwind. Unfortunately, I'm still kind of feeling a bit under the weather. Like I'm not sick, but for whatever reason, the back of my throat, like, really, really hurts. And it's been like that since, like, yesterday morning. I woke up. Maybe I had, like, a really bad nightmare that I don't remember or something, but I woke up feeling like I'd just been screaming all night. Like, yesterday, it hurt to even just talk. And I seriously need to take the trash out. I've kind of let the trash accumulate around my desk a little bit too long. I wish I wasn't such a slob. Like, I'm not the cleanest person by any stretch of the imagination. Like, don't get me wrong, I do have my weaknesses, but I at least have standards for myself. Whenever I know I have company coming over, I will do my darnest to clean the house. At least a little bit. So it doesn't look like I'm just an absolute pig living in a pen. But I'm not like a total clean freak. You know what? I left my phone in the other room. Although I can just use my other screen to look at the date. As I'm recording this, it is August 5th of 2025. Feels very weird saying that. This year feels like... Maybe it's different for some of you guys, but for me, it feels like the very first part of the year just flies by, just instant. But once it gets to like the 4th of July, it just slows down. Maybe it's because like the last several months of the year are getting hotter and hotter and hotter. Like we're gonna be halfway into October by next week, or by the end of next week, and it's still supposed to be like in the high 80s. Like, I remember as a kid, you would almost not want to go out trick-or-treating for Halloween because it would just be... You'd be freezing your butt off. Is how cold it would get. Like, I remember there was one night, I was dressed in, what was I dressed? I think I was just dressed as like a regular old ghost. You know, just like a white, thin sheet with a mask that like goes all the way down to your ankles. And I was obviously, you know, wearing like a jacket and whatnot underneath it, but it felt just wrong wearing all that extra clothing underneath the costume. And I remember, like, I almost told my dad I did not want to go trick-or-treating. I did it in the end, but I remember there not being a lot of kids out that night. See, I would have been like 8. Not so sure. It was a long, long, long time ago. You know what? I'm going to run and get my phone real quick so I can just look up information a bit easier. I will be right back. I will, however, leave you guys with a cool view to look at. I think something like that would be good. Oh, where'd you go? And I am back. I'm actually wanting to do something special for Halloween. I'm thinking of playing at least one horror game, one that I'm unfamiliar with. Horror games are just so they're very different from horror movies. Because in a horror game, you're actually immersed in it. Whereas a horror movie, I'm sitting there just like judging the actors for the decisions they're making. Like, why would you follow the killer instead of running the complete opposite direction? But in a game, it's very different. I remember beating Amnesia: The Dark Descent for the first time and telling myself I was never going to play the stupid thing again. Like, even to this day, I still get a bit of a chill running up my spine whenever I hear the Brute's theme song starting up, or just the Brute entering into the room. It's it's not a pleasant sound. Like, you would see my soul leaving my body if I ever heard something make that kind of sound, like in the middle of the night. We seem to be still going in the same direction as we were whenever I left. Okay, that's completely swung out all the way. That's as far out as she goes. I should have bought the not the quadrant, I can't remember what the name of the stupid tool is. The the tool that tells you how fast you're going. Because I know this little boat can actually zip through the water pretty quickly if you've got a right setup for it. Oh. Hello, my Oculus is unplugged. Why is my Oculus unplugged? I guess I didn't plug it in last time I played. Kind of bummed out about the issues I'm having, like uploading the videos with it. Because Blade and Sorcery is a game I have a lot of fun with, and it's a game that helps me stay in shape. But it is quite brutal. Because I actually have like a large empty room that I play it in, and I can actually like move around and sword fight somewhat realistically. And I found that the game is actually a lot better whenever you research how soldiers of like previous eras fought. Like, for example, I primarily fight like a Roman legionnaire. I have a spear that I throw at my enemy, and if the spear doesn't kill him, then I pull out my sword and my shield, and then I deal with him like that, which is more or less how the Romans did it. Ooh, actually, another idea for the Halloween thing could be War of Rights. The problem is there's a lot of players that use some pretty foul language in that game, and there's nothing I can really do about it. I can maybe try and get onto like an official dedicated server to where the foul language is kind of kept to a minimum. But I know you have to sign up for it. Oops. A bit too far to the west here. Problem is, I don't really have any maps or anything. Honestly, maybe I would probably want to be going a bit further to the south. I don't want to go too far west because I run a shot of like going too far to the west. If I go too far to the south, it's not that big of a problem. Screenshot. 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 That was weird. And for a split second, I thought I saw something sticking out of the water. I'm hallucinating again. I've gone mad, people. I've gone completely mad. Oh no, 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 no. Let's not do that. There we go. And so this is about a quarter of the way through. It's life. Well, I wonder if the archipelago will be in visual range by the time we wake up tomorrow. Tell you what. There we go. Feels very weird. I swear I keep seeing something over there. Like, I swear I saw something sticking out of the water. I'm using the edge of the screen because the edge of the screen kind of makes things zoom in. Strange. But as I was saying, it feels very weird uh, sailing across the ocean without at least a quadrant. Beautiful night sky, though. I do enjoy this game. I really do. But every once in a while, it really does love to test your patience. And I know people are wanting me to play Sail the Seas. I just don't know if I can bring myself to do it again. Of course, now that there's like actual ports like all over the world, maybe I'll give it another go, but I don't know. I play it for a while, then it just kind of it loses its charm for me. Some people like it a lot better than Sailwind, which is fine. But for me, it's a bit different. I kind of prefer Sailwind to sail the seas. The game just feels better. Wait, hello. Oh, we caught something. What did we catch? It's kind of hard to see. We caught one of these things. Oh, no, never mind. It's not what I thought it was. Shimmer tail? Yeah, shimmer tail. We're having sushi tonight, boys and girls. Although, according to my channel information, I don't have a single female viewer. Not one. It's kind of funny when you think about it, but it's also kind of somewhat depressing in some ways. Alright, well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and tune out for the night, and I'll see you guys in the morning. Alright, good morning, people. Let's see how we're doing. Still seem to be more or less on course. Though the wind has kind of changed a little bit. Let's get this water out of here. I still haven't caught anything. Kind of funny how we went all night without catching a single fish. Speaking of which, is the Emerald Archipelago in visual range? Not as far as I can tell. It will take us a couple of days in-game to actually get out to the Firefish Lagoon. So I'm not going to worry about scanning the horizon too much just yet. But it does appear that the Firefish Lagoon, or not the Firefish Lagoon, the Emerald Archipelago is officially long behind us. Wait, hello, there is a fish! It's not just a fish. It's what I call breakfast. And I'm just gonna dump on the dirty floor of the ship. Or boat. It's not a ship, it's a boat. I don't think it's actually classified as a ship until we have 3 masts. If memory serves right. You know what? Boat or ship is good enough. If it's on the water, it's a boat, automatically. Alright, how is the... I think I'll actually go ahead and kind of pull this back just a smidge. Maybe a bit like that. Oh, whoa, hello. We got completely turned around. On that note, Okay. Survival bars are full. Still got plenty of food, plenty of water. Maybe even too much water. Once that barrel is completely empty, I'll go ahead and just toss it overboard and start making room for more room back here for me to just kind of hang around in. Really wish you could just kind of like lay in the bed without it automatically putting you to sleep. Because that's exactly what I would be doing right now, is I'd just be like laying down in the hammock and just swaying along with the waves. Oh, we caught something else. Well, they can just stay back there. It stays fresh like that. Just doing a horizontal scan. Maybe I should install that mod that has the character actually rendered in the third-person view. Ooh, actually, here's an idea. Let's move this up here. I said let's move this up here. There. And then put this up here like that. And this... Admittedly, this one was fine where it was. Now I can actually get to the back of the ship. I am curious to see how fast we're actually traveling, though. Yeah, things on my monitor I'm trying to scratch off, if you can hear the scratching noises. Might have to get a new monitor before too long. Nope, the Emerald Archipelago is definitely long, long, long behind us. Still couldn't see it even with the camera zoomed out like that. Okay, I was gonna do something, then I completely forgot what it was. I think I was just gonna check my heading real quick. I think that's what it was. Just gonna sit here on this crate. And just look out the window. Although, dang it, did not want to do that. I mess up the whole vibe. There we go. What it's going to do is it's going to kind of sit here and make sure I'm still on the right path every once in a while. I'm being quiet because I know a lot of people, at least they used to like it when I did this. I think they just listen to the sounds the boat's making. Listen to the wind. Can't say I blame them, because it does sound relaxing. How do you keep getting so turned around? That means I have to do a bit of work with the mizzen sail back there. Let's do a little horizon scan just to make sure it's not in visual distance yet. I highly doubt it is, but you never know. I think what actually might be a wise idea for whenever I'm going to bed is to actually just go ahead and lower down the rear mast or the rear sail. That way it doesn't get so far off course. Oh, okay, you're still facing that way. Okay. Can we not do that? That would be appreciated if we could just not do that. Down. Swing this out. Ha! I'm actually curious to see how much that slows us down by. I have noticed that there's getting to be a lot more YouTubers who are recording this game. And they're pretty much always mentioning me in the description, which is actually pretty cool. I guess my videos have inspired a lot of people. Let's have you swing out like that. Dang it. I kind of prefer it whenever it's like this, because it's a bit harder for the wind to mess with the boat. Probably also should have bought some rum or some alcohol or something. You know what? I can actually go ahead and reel this fish in now. He's suffered long enough. One of these guys again. You know what? I'll go and throw you out like that, and then I'll place you back here. Sun is about to go down once again. And hopefully tomorrow we'll have sight of the Firefish Lagoon. It takes like 2, 3, sometimes even 4 days to sail down here. And bear in mind, I have no idea how far south we are, because I don't have a quadrant with me. As long as we keep heading generally southwest, we should be fine. Oops. That right there is also not a bad screenshot. Gotta get those thumbnails somehow. I love it when the game's like this. The ocean's not the calmest it could be, but it's definitely not the roughest it could be. The times I enjoy the most are whenever, like, there's no waves at all. It's just a nice, calm, flat. In real life, that would be problematic because that would mean, like, very little to no wind. But Sailwind, there's pretty much always wind. Also, I notice we're going a bit closer to the sun here. Yeah, you keep turning. Stop turning. You know what? Since the sun's going down, I'm going to be going to sleep here before too long. I will just go ahead and lower down this sail. I'll swing it out like this to its neutral position. And I'll just let the mainsail carry us through the night. Now I don't have to worry about it so much. Does mean we sacrifice a bit of speed, but at least I don't have to worry about the ship facing completely dead west whenever I wake up. Placing us God knows where in this ocean. It's only down to 72%, so yeah. Maybe it wasn't the mizzen sail. Maybe it's the mainsail that's doing this. It might also just be the ocean itself with all the waves. Clouds. And I hear the wind picking up. It's not a good sign. We might be in for some rough seas in the not too distant future. Alright, day 2. Well, I guess technically day 3 of our journey. Have you caught anything? You have, actually. And it's a tuna. One of these days, I'll actually catch an eel. Alright, how are we doing for our course? Actually... Dang it. Right, you. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Right now. Any sign of land at all whatsoever? I think I see something off in the distance, but I can't really tell. It's probably just my imagination, though. I guess we'll find out as we get closer. By the way, how are these doing? These still... Yeah, so it's only been 2 days. These are... These won't be due for a long time. I could probably make several trips around the entire world and still deliver these on time. Now watch me still be late. You know what? This might be... No, it's not. It's one of these yellow fish. These do like nothing. To solve your hunger problems, but food is food, I suppose. I'm wondering if I should start maybe going a bit more to the south. Yeah, it probably wouldn't hurt. Gonna go in a more this way-ish sort of direction. And truth be told, I could probably just go and swing that out all the way. We don't want to be heading directly south. About like that, I think. I'm just trying to make up for the amount of time we've spent going west. I definitely hear the wind is starting to pick up. Hmm. Hmm. It does feel like the wind has changed, which might be an indicator that we're getting close. Ish. And it turns out I was not wrong. I can just make out some land masses on the horizon. Okay, it's definitely a good thing I started heading further south. Alright, so let's start following the wind here. I guess we should have been just heading, like, more or less south by southwest. Because, yeah. If I had gone further west, I would have completely missed that. Alright. You, my friend, have outstayed your welcome, but by you go. Please do not damage the hull. Thank you. And that means you can start taking up that slot. Tell you what, let's actually kind of get you a bit more comfortably snug in here. Bit more like that, yeah. Yeah, so visual confirmation is definitely confirmed. I can now see it in first-person view. We have arrived at the Emerald Archipelago. Well, not. The Emerald Archipelago. Can I speak, please? Can I talk? Can I English? Maybe I just need to start learning a different language, like Japanese. It's clearly English is too much for me to handle. Okay, let's have you swing out like this. Can I actually get a really cool photo with the land in the background? And not yet. There's no way you'd see that on the thumbnail. But yeah, like I said, it takes 2 or 3 days for you to actually see the Firefish Lagoon in the distance. But it might take 4 or 5 to actually get there. Wish it wasn't so wavy. Could get like a really good look at it. At least now I don't have to worry about passing it by or something. Oh, darn it. First things first, I'll eat the salmon. That wasn't a salmon, that was a tuna. Then I'll handle this. Let's see here. I'm trying to remember what I'm actually going to be approaching from this angle. If I can get to the Firefish Town, that would be great. Or even the lagoon. I just don't remember what I'm going to be encroaching on whenever I finally get there. Not from this angle. I think I want to be aiming for this area over here. I think. It feels right. Okay, well, since we're about to go to bed again, I am going to lower down the mizzen sail and try and have the mainsail just kind of guide us into... I don't know how to put this. I'm aiming for that area right over there. But the waves are making this very difficult. But you know what? With the sun going down, I'm going to go to bed, and I will see you guys at sunrise. Hopefully we'll be a lot closer to the Firefish Lagoon. Right, well, would you believe that whenever I woke up in the middle of the night, the wind was blowing directly in my face, so... we actually lost quite a bit of progress because the wind was blowing us backwards. It's annoying Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, not quite that much. It's annoying, but this is the joy of Sailwind right here. It never fails. Once you start getting closer to your destination, the wind just decides, "Oh no, you're having too much fun. You're gonna start. I'm gonna make you suffer for a while." So on that note, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use both sails, but I'm going to raise them up just a bit. This way I am actually getting plenty of wind power. For crying out loud. This is why I do not like this particular boat. I feel like even the Dow doesn't get rocked around quite this bad. You know what? I think I can get away with one more. I don't even know what to call these things. These sections of the sail. I might actually be able to get away with all of them now. Yeah. Guess we'll just have to go at this from a different angle. What direction am I heading now? So I'm heading... So I'll pretty much be coming at it from the east. Which means I'd be approaching from the west. I just don't remember the map that well. Hang on, I'm gonna look at a map on my phone real quick. Fire, Fish, Lagoon, map. Hmm. Honestly, approaching it from the west would be the best case scenario because that leads to Firefish Town. Approaching from the east, if you're on the south side of it, you can go straight into Cassia Bay. Otherwise, it's going to be Sina or Ona that you go to. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to turn back in this direction. I'm going to start zigzagging towards the islands. Well, they're really not islands. It's a lagoon. And actually, you know what? This is where I can use this thing's strength really well. Just get all these nice and tight. Leave that one just somewhat loose. Because this thing excels in sailing upwind. Especially in conditions like this. I'm just going to put that right there. Don't really need it anymore. If we're lucky, we might actually get to one of the towns before nightfall, but it's probably going to be a bit of a stretch. The video is just past an hour and a half. So I have an idea for Oblivion because I've actually been looking into doing a Skyrim roleplay series. And I have an idea for once I finish my current Oblivion series, is I'm going to start a new one. But it's going to be the beginning of a family, like, bloodline. I need to get a mod that actually, like, lets you join the Imperial Legion. But with the way the Oblivion series is going right now, it's getting, like, basically no views at all whatsoever. Part of that might be because I kind of ruined the character, but what happened with that was I kind of got bored and I wanted to play it, but I didn't want to start completely over, so I used my character to do a few things that he wouldn't have done. Nothing is, like, super character breaking, but I completed the arena in Oblivion, and then I also leveled up his security level to maximum. He's a master at lockpicking now. The reason that happened was because I saw that you can like very easily just level up your security skill by just like moving the lockpick over to one of the tumblers that's already been lifted up. And you can just repeatedly click the activate button and your skill will level up just instantly. So there was one day I was in one of the dungeons and I learned about that trick. I was like, there ain't no way. So I found one of the locked chests and I went over to one of the tumblers that was already lifted up and I just started clicking and my skill just started flying up. I found it too hilarious to not exploit. Alright, let's go ahead and start turning back in this sort of a direction. It's taking a lot longer to get there than I thought it would. But those islands are definitely getting closer. This may end up being a 2-hour-long video, guys. I mean, it works for me. Means I can place more ads. One ad every 30 minutes. That's pretty much what I go for. If I were to ever lose my job in real life, I'd probably start taking YouTube a bit more seriously because I do get some money from the ads, but it's not a heck of a lot. You know, whenever I was taking a month for the summer, I actually got curious to see how much money I had accumulated. And even though my videos weren't really doing anything, or I wasn't, uploading videos to the channel anymore, I get like $300, which was quite convenient at the time because I was kind of hurting for a bit more spending money. And that's just placing an ad like every 30 minutes or so in my videos. I don't know if it would be legal for me to do so, but I should really take a screenshot or record it to show you guys like how many ads I could be placing in my videos whenever I actually, say I want the video to be monetized. But, yeah, there's just an absolute crap ton of ads I have to go through and delete, especially on longer videos. Like, I have no doubt this video is going to be just under 2 hours or a little over 2 hours by the time we finally get to our destination up here. But there's one time I deleted like 40 ads YouTube wanted me to put into the video. I was like, no, we're not doing that. Every once in a while I accidentally forget to go through and manually put stuff in, but I try to just put something like once every 30 minutes. And in the event that I ever like get a channel that's big enough to start doing sponsorships, it's going to go directly at the very beginning of the video. Because believe me, I get just as annoyed as most of you guys do about it. Don't think for a split second that I have not seen that most people just skip straight through sponsorship videos. The only time that I will watch a sponsorship video is if, number one, they added into the video really well, or number two, I really like the channel and I want to support the channel. History Marsh is a very good example of a channel that I'm willing to listen to the sponsorship for, because I really like his stuff. He makes history just so much more engaging than school ever did. That's probably one reason I just didn't really do so well in school at all. I mean, I did all right. I was mostly an A and B student, but I always had one C that I just couldn't escape from on my report cards. It got worse in high school because I just stopped caring. I took the ACT test one time only because I had to, and I scored like a 16 or something. But I remember like there were tons of students that were taking the ACT test time and time again. If I recall correctly, it was just trying to get like sponsorships for college, or trying to get into, decent colleges, but I think most of the people I went to school with just went to the university in Alva, Northwestern, Oklahoma Northwestern University, or OSU, Oklahoma State University. I don't think anybody went to OU, if memory serves. Pretty much everybody went to OSU or NWOSU. I tried college twice. Both times, I didn't really like it. I went the first time just because I was like right out of high school, and that's what my dad wanted me to do. Was he wanted me to go to college? So I'm just like, you know what? Fine, whatever. I'm not gonna like it. I'm sick and tired of school, but I'll do it. Lo and behold, like a few years later, I just drop out. That was a rather aggressive transition. Okay. And then I went again a couple years later, having given myself like a proper like long break from school and having like a bit more real world experience. I couldn't think of a single job that required a college degree that I actually would have wanted to have. I guess maybe I should have asked somebody, but it wasn't that long ago that I actually threw away somebody's diploma in the back of the trash truck. And I remember like digging through the trash can to lift out some of the heavier stuff, and I found that thing just buried like on the side of the trash can. And at first I was kind of surprised. I was like, there's no way this is what I think it is. I pick it up. Sure enough, it was a college diploma. I don't remember what university it was, but yeah, I just kind of got a good chuckle out of it. 'Cause a lot of people are finding out that the college degree is not what it once was. So a lot of people just saying to heck with college and going straight into trade schools. which I applaud because no matter what the school system or those in power will try to tell you, the world will always need plumbers and electricians and mechanics and HVAC people. Truck drivers. I know there's a lot of speculation about, like, replacing truck drivers with AI, but I've heard it go both ways. Some people say it's doing really well, other people are saying that it's got a long way to go. Quite honestly, I would be... If somebody were to run for president and say they're just going to outright ban that nonsense, I would just... It wouldn't matter what the rest of their policies are. If they want to ban AI vehicles, that would be perfectly fine for me. I'm not a huge fan of the idea of vehicles driving down the road with either no driver at all or the driver just sleeping behind the wheel. Man, this is taking a while. Well, if memory serves, I think this is actually a direction I want to be approaching from. Let me pull up that map again, just refresh my memory. So yeah, if I come in from the west, I have a chance of actually going into Firefish Town, which would be fantastic. Hey, you know what? Yeah, loosen you just a little bit. Although, I'll tell you what, that is a very pretty potential thumbnail right there, I tell you. This is one area I really love about the, or one area, this is one thing I love about this area is you just see how misty it gets. The sky is very different. It's a very unique area compared to the other three archipelagos. I am actually going to run and get a glass of water because my throat is starting to hurt from doing all this talking. Okay, maybe I'll loosen the mainsail just a little bit. Yay, well, the wind has definitely picked up again. I leave for like 30 seconds to go get a cup of water, and this is what happens. Alright, let's reel this in. There's a slight chance I might have caught an eel. You never know. Looks like just another... What is that? Oh, I know what that is. Well, that's not an eel, which is what I was kind of hoping that I got, but... This fish just does not look like it would be something that would be safe to eat raw, if I'm going to be honest. Alright, I'm down to my last few salmon here. Once again, the wind is kind of dying down, but I'm gonna have to go to bed soon regardless. Then you just see the islands just like the land just completely disappears in that haze. That's why sailing in this particular area at night is just so dangerous. Especially now that there's actual hull damage that can happen to your boat. I'd like to at least get to an area where I can like set anchor or something. But I'm gonna have to go to bed pretty soon here. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll just lower this completely. Pull this in. Then I'll lower this by a few sections. That way we're still moving, but not at such an extreme speed. And I'll see you guys whenever I wake up, or whenever dawn finally comes, whichever happens first. Well, good morning, everybody. Thirst and hunger still look to be halfway decent. Let's see here. So we are coming in. We're coming in from the north. What? So if I'm coming in from the north, then that would mean... That would mean we're going to be either seeing Ona or Sina first. However, I'm not sure if I want to see Ona or Sina first. I'd rather see the Firefish Town or the Firefish Lagoon, or, well, the Cassia Bay. I suppose something I could do is I could drop off tea to all three of these towns on this side, like Ona, Sina, and Cassia Bay, and then I could take a load over to the Firefish Town, and then pretty much be on my way to Alonk. That could work. Because I'm not going to explore so much in this series. I'm pretty much going to come in, do whatever I need to do, and then head out. Although one thing that might be worth doing would be switching these out for fin sails. In my experience, I haven't really had a lot of luck with fin sails, but I guess I can try it again. Oh, yeah, I should probably, take care of my bodily needs. Let's see. I might as well just kind of start picking off the rest of the salmon. And it's another one of these things. That fish just looks like it would be so unsafe to eat raw. See, if I remember correctly, Ona is actually up here in this middle rock. And you have Cena over there. And then you have Cassia Bay further down south. And I don't remember which town was paying the most for this tea. I think it was the Firefish town. For all I know, it could have been Cassia Bay. I know they were all paying pretty well. So I'm not going to be losing too much money by selling these to the wrong town, but I'm kind of convinced that maybe I could just sell this tea to, well, honestly, you know what I could do? I could sell one tea to 3 of the 4 towns. I can sell that eel to the 4th town. Might not be the worst idea. Because the eel was also paying pretty good, too. I'm going to pull you in a bit more. That way you can get a bit more speed. Yeah, I think that beachy area up there at the top left corner of the screen is Ona. I think that's where I'm just going to deliver to first. Then we'll go over to Cena, which is just a hop, skip, and a jump away over there, and then we'll head down to Cassia Bay, and that's probably where I will end the video. Or, you know what? To be fair, it's like 5:30. And the longer this video is, the longer it's going to take to upload it, so I guess I could also just kind of stick to the original plan and just do it in the next video, Wednesday's video. Die, Nat. Really wish I had a telescope. Really, really wish I had a telescope. Oh wow, the video is now past 2 hours long. Oh dear. Still trying to capture some thumbnails. Things are going a little too perfectly right now. So what's going to happen? On that note, like when's the wind going to start just blowing in my face all of a sudden? Yeah, that's definitely Ona. Because I can just barely make out some trees and some buildings. You know what? Maybe I'll sell the eel here. Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? I remember a couple years back, whenever this region was first released, this is actually the same boat that I used to explore it for the very first time. Because at the time, I was doing the Tea Merchant series. How nostalgic. Every once in a while, I'll get like a feeling of nostalgia whenever I see some of my older videos. And I'll see that it was like 9 months ago, or 2 years ago, or 3 years ago sometimes. It's like, oh my god. So, for those of you who are new to this game, this area has many dangers. One of them is right here in front of us. That is a sandbar. And if you're not paying attention, these things can really catch you off guard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of steer clear of this. For the smaller boats, they might not be so much of a big deal, but once you get into like the brig or the sandbuck, potentially even the junk, they become quite a nuisance. And I believe there's also tides in this game as well, or in this region. Ah, it feels so good to finally see land again. Even though it's only been like 3 or 4 days. Uh, 4 days. Yeah. 4 days since I was last on land. Of course, I guess for someone who's never like actually been out to sea before, such as this character, 4 days might seem like quite a long time. Keep in mind, this character is just kind of sitting here on his boat with nothing really to do. So I imagine it would be 4 days of like, just absolute boredom. Boredom and frustration at the wind. Like, I don't even have a broom on this thing, so he can't even clean. And even if he could clean, it's not like he could really do much. You come here. Alright, where's that eel? Here we go. Yoo-hoo! Special delivery! 1 crate of eel. Enjoy. While I'm here, I guess I might as well... I mean, I'm going to Cena next, so... Yeah, I'll take some mail and I'll take some spices. And I'm also going to be going to Casilla Bay as well, so... you know what? Just so I don't have to, like, dive into my supply on my boat, I'll buy that, and then... Rain to... What is this nonsense? Whenever I start my next character, I'm going to have a lot of things to mess around with, because I'm thinking about doing like a explorer type of character. Probably starting with the Dow, honestly, because it's been a long time since I've done anything with the Dow. Alright, well, ladies and gentlemen, since I have finally reached Ona, I'm going to go ahead and call it an episode here. That way I don't take up too much... That way I don't, like, ruin the next episode quite so bad. Because the next episode, we're probably just going to be exploring around here, and then Friday's episode, we'll start heading out to Alonk. So, be prepared for a long sea voyage on Friday. And, yeah, that's going to wrap it up for now. So if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, leave a comment. If you want to see more content from me, consider subscribing, because I do plan on having a lot more on the way. And until next time, guys, God bless, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, this is your captain, signing out.